What's up everyone, MeJP2 here, and in today's video, we have some anti-skarmory tech. We are going to be running a level 50 voltorb in the Holiday Cup. Now I built this because I found skarmory to be extremely annoying now, because its typing just makes it wall some of the other spicy Pokemon that I run. Like, it just destroys like Eevee, Curlia, other stuff like that, stuff I was trying to have fun with. So I decided to build something that would specifically hard wall skarmory. And I saw I had this Hundo Voltorb, and I knew what I had to do. So I powered it up, spent like 400,000 Stardust on it, and to be honest, it wasn't terrible. The thing about Voltorb is it is mildly glassy, and it doesn't hit 1,500 in combat power, so it does just have a lower stat total overall compared to the actual meta Pokemon, so it already does have that disadvantage. Regardless of that, I was able to have some pretty fun battles, and I was pretty impressed by how it did, especially against flying types like Skarmory. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Let's hop into the battles. Hopping into the first battle, and we lead Superior into Vikavolt. Now, Vikavolt and Superior both hit each other for resisted damage with the fast moves, but they are able to hit us for super effective with X-Scissor, so I'm going to try and switch and catch it afterwards. I go for one Vine Whip, switch, and I fail to catch. Now they're going to go for Discharge and force a shield. But the thing is, they shielded that Leaf Tornado, so now we're just even shields. We get that Incinerate through for free as well because they throw an alignment. So that Vikavolt's very low now. They bring in Jellicent, and they actually end up shielding a Fly. Now, I'm not shielding this move because Superior can just take care of Jellicent, but they actually go for a Bubble Beam. So it looks like they're probably running like Bubble Beam and Shadow Ball or something. Now, we go for the Fly, and with this one Incinerate, this Fly should come pretty close to KOing or just get the KO. We go for the Fly, and the Jellicent barely lives it. Thing is, this will give me like a 1 energy advantage, like a 1 move advantage on either Pokemon, so I bring in Voltorb. I get that 1 Spark, and that does give me a slight energy advantage. They come back in with the Vikavolt, and that tells me that they are definitely weak in the back. They go for the X-Scissor, but I can shield it, and I'll just get a full farm down. And in the back, target acquired. It's a Skarmory. We can make it to the back-to-back discharges, and Voltorb, despite not being the highest combat power, will be able to take out the Skarmory. And this discharge will take him out, and we take that game. Hopping into the next battle, and we lead Superior into Gengar. This is just a negative lead, because we have very little ways of hitting them for actual damage, because Aerial Ace is not the same type of attack bonus. But the opponent shields the Leaf Tornado. I don't know why they kept shielding these, but they did. And then they switch. They catch the move onto a Vigoroth, and we don't even get the attack debuff. I have to switch into Talonflame though, because Voltorb will just get fully countered down based on experience there. But the Vigoroth goes for the Rock Slide. At this point, I can probably just go for the Flame Charge, and I'll probably be able to just get a farm down if they commit a shield. The opponent realizes this, they don't go for the move, and then they bring in an Electrode. Now, Talonflame will be able to make it to another Flame Charge, and that will pressure shield. The opponent has to throw as well, simply because the Incinerate damage will add up a lot. Thing is, now, we can just bring in Voltorb, and we have the Battle of the Evolution line. Electrode versus Voltorb. They'll make it to a move here, but Voltorb should tank any move. Even if it was a foul play, it would have tanked that, and Voltorb is going to make it to the return. And this just proves that Voltorb is better than Electrode, trust me. And we take him out with the return, they bring back in the Gengar, and they throw here. I do think I would have made it to a move if I shielded, but I think it was just safer to let Superior have the shield, because Superior will be able to make it to an Aerial Ace and take out the Gengar, if anything. So we're going to go for the Aerial Ace. This should either take him out or come very close. They won't make it to another move anyways. Aerial Ace does take him out, and we take that game. Hopping into the next battle, and we lead Superior into Shadow Magnezone. So we got the opponent with some spice here. Now, we're going to be able to just go for a Leaf Tornado instantly. And I don't care if I get the attack debuff or not. It's nice to have the raw damage, and the attack debuff's cool. And we do get the attack debuff. So now if they go for a Wild Charge, it still won't do much. The opponent switches into Frostlass, and we just have Talonflame to shut down Frostlass. I do have to shield this move because Avalanche would do some heavy damage, but this opponent's actually on Triple Axle. Now I'm going to go for the Flame Charge here. I am going to undercharge it because I should be able to farm him down before they make it to another move. I get the perfect undercharge. That lets me leave with 1 extra Incinerate advantage. They bring in the Magnezone. Now I can go for a Flame Charge, but if they shield this, the Incinerate will take them out from this range. So they go for a farm down, but they get farmed down. Now they come in with Double, and this is not good, because Double will be able to get a slight energy advantage on the Talonflame, but they're going to be able to go for a Body Slam, And Voltorb does tank that. Not very well, but it does tank it at least. I won't be able to make it to a return here, but I really do wanna. So I try to catch the move. I don't get the catch, but the opponent does have to throw anyways. And they still will not be able to farm me down. From this range, I should be able to make it to 2 Leaf Tornadoes, even on this HP. So they should be forced to go for another Body Slam. The opponent does go for the Body Slam, but at this point, they're just way too low. And Discharge would take them out from this range, but I decided to make it to the return. It's going to KO either way, so we're going to be able to take this game. Hopping into the next battle, and we lead Superior into Skarmory. And there's our target, but it's not in the right spot. Thankfully, I'm running 2 Skarmory counters in the back, so I can just switch out. The opponent brings in a Torterra, of all things, so that's some nice spice, but it does just wall Voltorb, basically. The return does rock the Torterra, and I'm going to bring in Superior, just because it doesn't have much play up against the against the Skarmory. I need to save Talonflame for the Skarmory. So they're going to go for a move, they go for a Frenzy Plant, that does some nice damage, and I'm just going to farm them down. They come back in with the Skarmory, and I go for the Aerial Ace simply because it's single resisted. Aerial Ace does like nothing. I switch into Talonflame, and in the back they have Altaria, and I just quit the match. Altaria would just run through the rest of my team, especially with 2 shields. I think I just get fully Dragon Breath down on Talonflame, and Superior just had nothing. So that game was over the moment I saw that Altaria. Hopping into the next battle anyways, we lead Superior into Unova Stunfisk, so best possible lead, frankly. Unova Stunfisk and Lantern are the best things that Superior can lead into. The opponent switches into Ferrothorn, and yeah, Talonflame time. We're just going to be able to fully Incinerate farm them down. They go for the Power Whip, that does virtually nothing, and we just get a full farm down. Now, I'm assuming they're going to bring back in the Unova Stunfisk, and I throw the Incinerate trying to throw on good timing, but they will make it to a Discharge now. Thing is, we tank that, and now we have back-to-back Flame Charges. The opponent lets the first one go through, I just get the full farm down. I should be able to force a shield from whatever they have in the back. And in the back they have Frostlass, and so this Flame Charge will definitely get shielded. And I bring in Superior, I'm fishing for a debuff at this point. I just want to make sure Voltorb can't get farmed down. We get the shield and we get the debuff, so yeah, Voltorb's going to clean up this battle. I even no-shield that move because I know it won't take me out. They go for a Triple Axle, which boosts their attack, but that's not going to save them. Voltorb goes for the Discharge, and 3 more Sparks take him out, and we take that game. Hopping into the next battle, and we lead Superior into Lurantis. This is not as good of a matchup as it would seem, simply because Leaf Blade is powerful and gets same type attack bonus, while Aerial Ace is not too powerful, and it doesn't get same type attack bonus. We're going to go for the Aerial Ace anyways, though, and Aerial Ace does some nice damage, but we will need a second one to take him out. I expect them to shield, so I go for the Leaf Tornado, but the opponent switches into a Togekiss. Now, if I got the debuff, it'd be really nice. We don't get it, though, but this Togekiss is actually running Air Slash, so Voltorb's at no risk of getting farmed down. We go for a Discharge, and the opponent shields it, which is quite questionable because they're not taking Switch in this scenario. They go for the Aura Sphere, I shield it, and Voltorb leaves with the move. Problem is they can just send in Lurantis, and they will win CMP, so there's no real point in trying to throw. But the thing about the Lurantis is, well, Talonflame just farms them down. In the back, they have Kofagrigus, and Kofagrigus will not be able to beat Talonflame. We can go for a Flame Charge, they shield. I try and catch onto Superior, but it doesn't really matter. They can go for a Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball will almost take out Superior, but it's still an energy loss for them even after getting that one Shadow Claw. So that was still technically a catch in my opinion. They go for the Fly. Fly almost takes them out. One more Incinerate does take them out, and we take that game. Hopping into the next battle, and we lead Superior into Charge Bug. Now, just like the Vikavolt matchup, both Pokemon hit each other for resisted, but Charge Bug is able to hit for super effective with X-Scissor. The problem with this is that Charge Bug is significantly bulkier, and 2 X-Scissors would still pretty much KO with the Volt Switch damage. We actually get a debuff, so it does seem like we'll be able to tank a second X-Scissor fairly well. Now we do tank it, and we'll make it to another move. And this move actually gets double shielded, so I have no idea what this opponent was thinking. They then switch into Vigoroth, and we're going to go for a Leaf Tornado, fishing for a debuff, and we get it. At this point, I don't think Rock Slide would take out Talonflame, but it is still, double super effective, so I'm going to shield it. I can go for a flame charge, though. Flame charge will probably take him out. It definitely will, actually. They bring back in the charger bug, and I do go for the incinerate, trying to throw on better timing, but they will make it to a discharge. I'm going to shield it, though, and at this point, I should just get a full farm down. And whatever they have in the back will not like to tank 2 boosted flies. So in the back, they have Mandibuzz, so Mandibuzz does tank the flies. The problem is, not very well anyways. You go for the second fly, you can just bring in Voltorb. The Mandibuzz does make a move. And this is the thing about Voltorb. It's actually not that glassy. It does tank the Dark Pulse fairly well. And we do take that game. Hopping into the next battle, only leads Superior into Shadow Victor Reveal. Now, this is pretty good for Superior simply because we hit for super effective with Aerial Ace. The problem is that one Aerial Ace doesn't take him out, and the Vine Whips will never farm him down. So we're going to actually have to go for a Leaf Tornado to take him out. And Leaf Tornado will take him out from this range. I just went for that because in case they shielded, it would get the debuff. They then bring in Shadow Ampharos, so my backline does not want to see this thing. So hopefully Superior does manage to take it out. They don't even shield the Leaf Tornado. And then they switch into their own Talonflame, and I bring in Voltorb. This is the thing about Voltorb. It is still not very tanky. So Talonflame does just incinerate all the way through Voltorb. The nice thing is that I should be able to grab a shield back with a discharge. And I am at the back-to-back, but the Incinerate does register and we get taken out. Now, my Talonflame should tank at least one move from them. And they go for a Flame Charge, and they're not going to make it to another move as my Incinerate will take them out. The Ampharos will have a move banked, but that Thunder Punch will get shielded, and I can just switch into Superior, force him to throw, or just get farmed down, so we are able to take that game. Hopping into the next battle, and one of the best possible leads, we lead Superior into Lantern. Lantern's fully walled, and the opponent switches into Pidgeot. Now, it's the Pidgeot's turn to get fully walled, as we bring in Voltorb. They go for the Feather Dance, extremely predictable, and I'm going to overfarm until right before they make it to a second Feather Dance, and I'm going to go for the Discharge. Discharge actually does get shielded, and at this point I am going to shield because Brave Bird would take us out. They do full send the Brave Bird, which is nice, and at this point I actually will just be able to get a full farm down. The problem is Lantern will easily soak these debuff discharges. So while the discharges will do at least some damage, it's still not going to have any chance of getting a shield. We go for discharge number 2, and we actually almost got him into the yellow, so Voltorb did pretty well there. Now we can just bring back in Superior though, and this Lantern is still walled. They're not going to be able to flip this matchup no matter what. We go for the Leaf Tornado. Leaf Tornado gets shielded, and in the back they have Auroras. Now I can go for the Leaf Tornado. Leaf Tornado will not take them out, but it will get them into the yellow, and we get the debuff. At this point, I'm just saving this shield for Superior. Meteor Beam will still one-shot Talonflame, but we will be able to outpace him to a move. Actually, no, we don't. I thought it was 5 Weather Balls after the Meteor Beam, but I guess it isn't. No, the Superior is going to be able to make it to the Leaf Tornado. Leaf Tornado will take out the Auroras, and the Lantern's just got nothing they can do. They can go for the Surf, but Surf will not take out my Superior, and we'll be able to make it to a Leaf Tornado and take him out. This Leaf Tornado, well, it's not the highest damage move. We'll take out the Lantern, and we take that game. Hopping into the next battle, and we lead Superior into Talonflame. Awful lead. And so we're going to have to switch out into our own Talonflame, but we're one turn behind. So while they can just go for a move, I won't get an Incinerate through. And I do just have to let this go through. If it's a Brave Red, I just probably lose this match. But they actually do go for the Flame Charge. They'll make it to a second one before I will be able to make it to back-to-back flies, and they go for it. My best hope is to try and get shields down, so I'm going to go for the extra Incinerate before that. And the problem is that I will be able to make it to a second fly, but their Incinerate will register, so they get taken out. On the bright side, we got their shields, so hopefully Voltorb will be able to just farm them down. But as you can see, they barely live that spark, and that's going to cost us a lot. Voltorb loses all the energy they had, and in the back they have Roserade. Now, my only win con is they're not running Weather Ball, but they are, and at this point, I'm not winning that game, so I give it up. Hopping into the next battle, and we lead Superior into Vigoroth. Now, this is pretty good if we can get a debuff. Unfortunately, we will lose the Charge Attack priority tie, but we'll be able to tank it, and if we actually get a debuff here, then we should be able to tank a second one. We get the debuff, and now we will easily tank another Body Slam. This body slam, it's not going to do much because it's debuffed, and we do lose CMP, but this Leaf Tornado should do some okay damage. Leaf Tornado does some nice damage. We get a debuff as well. And I switch into Talonflame. I get the Incinerate through as they throw the body slam, and quad debuff, that body slam does nothing. They then bring in Skeleturge though, but up energy, we're going to actually be able to probably flip this matchup. We can go for the Fly. Fly does grab the shield, and they're probably not going to shield the second one. I don't think they want to just give up both shields, because I'm assuming they have something in the back that they don't want to leave without shields. Because of that, they no-shield the Fly, and they will make it to a Disarming Voice here, but Disarming Voice won't take out Talonflame, and the Incinerate will register and take them out. In the back, there it is. They did not want to have to leave Skarmory without shields, because they needed to shield that Flame Charge. Unfortunately for them, we can just bring in Voltorb, and we're just going to tank any move they throw. Brave Bird would do some nice damage, but they had the Sky Attack, and that won't take out Voltorb at all. We go for the Discharge, and 2 more Sparks finish off the Skarmory, and we take that game. Hopping into the next battle, and we lead Superior into Jellicent. This is an amazing lead, and the opponent, I'm expecting them to switch out, unless they're running Ice Beam. If they're staying in, I feel like they might be running Ice Beam, so I actually might be inclined to shield here. They shield, and I decide I doubt they're running Ice Beam. They do just go for a Shadow Ball. Superior does tank that. I throw on good timing, and this is enough for a Frenzy Plant, so I actually do grab the second shield. No debuffs, but whatever. They can go for a Shadow Ball to take us out, but they actually go for the Surf. They then switch into a Alolan Ninetales and get the Snipe, but Talonflame just gets a full farm down here. They even throw on Alignment, and I still don't have to shield. They go for the Weather Ball, and Talonflame just gets the full farm down. I'm assuming they're going to bring back in the Jellicent, but the thing is, this is just a full farm down for Voltorb. They can go for a move here, but I'm shielding. They go for the Shadow Ball, and I just leave with a return. Now, in the back, they have Altaria, and I probably should have gone for the triple Discharge here, but I did go for the return. Return did a lot more damage than I expected it to. These Dragon Breaths are doing a lot more damage than I expected to do to Voltorb as well. I can go for the Discharge, though, and Discharge will take out Altaria, so Voltorb is able to take that game for us. Hopping into the next battle, and we lead Superior into Unova Stunfisk. Now, once again, very good lead. The opponent switches into a Wigglytuff, so we're just kind of hard countering them at this point. We can go for the Flame Charge. Flame Charge will get a shield, surprisingly. I would not expect them to shield in such a bad matchup, but they do. I shield this move because Icy Wind would probably do some nice damage. It might even put us into farm down range, but they just go for a Disarming Voice, which is questionable. They bring back in the Unova Stunfisk, but I have a lot of energy on the Talonflame, and Talonflame will be able to get to 2 Flame Charges before they can even make it to a move. Flame Charge number 2 will force the shield. The opponent then brings in Vigoroth. Now, I go for the Flame Charge here. I probably should have gone for the Fly because it's higher damage, but it doesn't really matter. Flame Charge still takes out the Vigoroth, though, so it didn't really matter in the end. They bring back in the Unova Stunfisk. At this point, I decide I want to go for the ultimate disrespect. I want to take out a ground type with an electric level 50 Pokemon. And it looks like we're going to be able to do just that because Voltorb makes it to a return. And we just watch an electric type take out a ground type. And we take that game. Anyways, Voltorb was actually a lot of fun for me to run. I had pretty low expectations for it because I've seen that Electrode's fairly glassy. But Voltorb does seem to have a fairly similar bulk quantity to it. So it actually was pretty nice. It does have a lower attack stat than Electrode, though, for fairly obvious reasons, but it was still able to do very well into flying types. That was pretty nice. Like, walling Skarmory was just nice, because I saw way too many Skarmories in the Holiday Cup, and they started getting very annoying very quickly. So just being able to punish Skarmory users was fun. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.